What's up, y'all? What's going on? Let's see. Yes, it's working. We're good to go. Y'all, what's going on? I'm gonna just clean that piece off of there real quick. And that one really quick. And I'm noticing that this needs to go like that. Yes. Yo, what's going on? So today we're going to make a grapevine. It's going to be different from the one we did yesterday. Yesterday was like an all-around design. This one's just going to be mainly focused up here in the top left-hand corner. A few months ago, Deco had these really pretty, I think that's a coleus, if I'm not mistaken. Y'all, look how pretty that is. Look how pretty that is. And we're going to use the whole bush together as a whole. Good morning, y'all. So we're going to use the entire bush as a whole. The item number was HA1586. HA1586. And I'm going to apply some glue to that, and I'm going to shove that right into that top left hand corner of my grapevine wreath, because I still want to be able to see the grapevine. And so I want to explain to y'all, this grapevine is I think this is a 16-inch grapevine, but on this grapevine, y'all, this right here is very airy and open, so I'm making sure that the part that's a little bit tighter is right up here, and that's where that was glued into. So I want to make sure that it stays in that area, because even though we can still see some of the grapevine, I really like how this is kind of like broken up a little bit. It's not as tight, so I do like that. Get some floral wire. I need to go ahead and just tie this down, y'all. So you can really make these small grapevines become really big grapevines with just a little bit of TLC. I'm just tying that into that grapevine. Hey, Georgia Brown. Georgia, I did not go live last night. I was going to, but I got busy making some wreath attachments. So when I'm in the zone, I'm in the zone, y'all. So this is exactly what we've added so far. And you'll look how it filled that entire grapevine up. I love how that already looks. But then we're going to take it up to another level. I'm going to start adding some of our greenery and our filler flower. Now, the one greenery I'm going to add is, I am making this a fall design. So I'm going to use some of this wheat and these little, I think it's a crabapple pick. So I am cutting that up into some smaller pieces, y'all. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to use the other one as well. So we're going to cut this up into some smaller pieces. 1, 2. So we're going to have a total of 10 pieces, y'all. 10. Really pretty. It's got those little berries. I think they're called crab apples because that's what it said on the Hobby Lobby website. With this one, it says crab apples, and it's kind of the same look. That's what that looks like. So that's what I'm gonna call it. If wrong. Y'all, it's okay. It's not that serious. Okay. So now I'm going to start adding some of these in. I am gluing these in. My glue gun is nice and hot. Yo, I love me some grapevines, especially during fall. I love grapevines for fall. I love grapevines period, but I really like them for fall and fall and spring. And I do love me a really nice chunky moss base too. It really isn't that serious. It's not that serious, y'all. So I'm going around the outside of that first bush that we added in. Making sure to incorporate the stems in. Because like I said, I do want this to be nice and fall looking, a really pretty fall design. What I also do love to find, y'all, is picks and stems or bushes that have a lot in it, because really it's not a lot of stuff that we're using. We've already used one bush as our big greenery, and then we've used 2 other bushes as our filler greenery. And y'all, always make sure you find stuff that you can manipulate. And something that's going to have a lot of coverage. Now this might not seem like it has a lot of coverage because it's a little bit more airy than something that's a little bit tighter, but overall you're not going to use a lot of product for this design. Yeah, it might seem like, oh my gosh, he's using 10 stems, but y'all, that was really only in reality 2 bushes. Just 2 bushes, that was it. Like the wreath we made yesterday, that was only 1 whole bush from Hobby Lobby. You know, 1 bush from Hobby Lobby. And some affordable greeneries. So always make sure you find stuff that you can really, really get the most out of it. Those affordable greeneries you can get a lot out of. That big bush from Hobby Lobby you can get a lot out of as well. Good morning, y'all. Brandy asked when am I leaving? I'm leaving in the morning, Brandy. I cannot believe it's already Wednesday, y'all. Like, I was like, what the heck? It's already Wednesday? It's like, how? How? So just adding that in, and you know, look how pretty that looks. It looks a little wild, but trust the process, y'all. Trust the process. So we're going to add in some wispy grasses, some more, like this. See how long that made this? So I don't have to go right down here at the very tippy tip bottom. I can come a little bit more into the wreath. versus coming out the very edge of it. Same thing up here. Oh, I do love these. So these are paper. I will tell you, if you are a creator, just beware of the paper grasses. A lot of them can't get wet, but if you use the 60919, you know that it has paper in it. So and I've used 60919 for a few years already, and I've not had a problem. So as long as it's under a covered porch area, you should be fine. Okay, now look how much life that brought to it. Now you'll see I have a big gap right here. I know what y'all are probably thinking, what's gonna go there? A big bow is gonna go right there, y'all. Use this. I don't know where I can't remember where I got this from, y'all, but it's a berry branch and it's really, really pretty. It's got some of the oranges and the greens, and it's that really nice woodsy feel to it. So it looks like it actually came off the branch, the bush. So we're gonna add that in as well. Deborah, have you seen my stash? I can pull stuff out of everywhere. I'm just adding that in. Really, really pretty. I don't know where I got these from, y'all. I think I got these at my wholesaler that I used to shop at a long time ago, and I just went back a few months ago. I think that's where these came from. Okay, Debbie. Adding those berries. Oh, look how pretty that looks. Love, love, love that. Michelle, yes, I am. So now we're going to tie in some affordable greenery, which is 43314. I love these grasses like this. I love the look of that grass. So it's kind of giving the same look and feel of the paper ones, but it's not paper, y'all. It is plastic. So we're going to start adding those in. So far we've used one coleus bush, two of that wheat and berry bush, two of those, one twig with berry twiggy branch, which does have some berries. We also used one paper grass stem. So really we didn't use a lot. No, we really did not use a lot. That's what I love. You can take like the least amount of product and make something really, really wow with it. You don't need 16 bushes of greenery or 15 stems total of peonies or something. You don't need a lot of product to really make a big, impactful design. So just keep that in mind, you know, when you're shopping for stuff and you're like, well, I don't know if it'll work. It'll work, trust me. So now we're gonna make our bow, and it's gotta be a pretty big bow because I need it right in that section. And I absolutely love this burlap ribbon, and should probably take it easy using it, but so we're gonna make a tail. So that is 15 inches worth of ribbon. Make our 2 loops. And then 16 inches. And we're going to make 4 loops of 16-inch ribbons. Okay. 17 inches. So 2 15s, 4 16s, and 2 17s. This is a pretty big bow. I'm going to add some more tails to it. That one. Okay, so y'all, this is a pretty big bow because I know it. So y'all, that 16-inch grapevine really showed itself out with all of the florals that we added in. And that's one thing you always want to make sure when you're working with your florals is that you really, one, you try and make it as natural as possible, but number 2, don't cut it all the way down to the very, don't give yourself an inch to work with on those floral stems. You know, you're going to want to make sure that you have a lot to work with. So I try and cut at the nub of the florals. So I try and cut, I'll show y'all. I'm sure y'all know what I'm talking about, but I like that you don't use a pick machine. Yeah, I don't use a pick machine at all. I have 2 of them, y'all, and they are literally just collecting dust, unfortunately. Our pick machine's great, yes, but not everyone has them. So, and I remember a few years ago, Hobby Lobby used to have like a little handheld one, which used to be great, and they discontinued it. Which I'm like, hello, we need that back. So put that back off to the side. And now check out that bow. Look how it filled out that nice little section. Doing those tails. bring that one down, and we're going to tie that in with a piece of wire. I know I just had a piece of wire. There it is. And I'm just tying that into the grapevine, y'all. Or if there's a stem that I can tie into, I'll tie into the stem as well. So don't think that you can't tie into the stems. Then you can also use zip ties if you wanted to. But I'm just using my floor wire. So look how pretty that is. Okay, so now we still have some grassy pieces. So I got 4 grassy pieces, but I do have these peonies. So you know, when I say cut down to the nub, I do mean like I try and cut down all the way down to the nub here. Okay, because I would very much rather be able to work with this much length of stem than, let me find something that I can probably cut off. So I would very much rather work with this much length of stem, that way I can trim it back if I need to, versus, I see it a lot, y'all, that much worth of stem. Do you see? You see how close that's gonna get your flowers? Yes, it's gonna look pretty. Sometimes you do require to use the length of stem just like that, but if you really want this to be nice and airy and come through your design, like sit above all of the foliage that you have, y'all. So this is a prime example. So that's all I have to glue, right? So you glued that in there, and guess what? Guess what, y'all? You can't see that rose that you stuck in there. You can't see it anymore. Versus this stem, which now is going to sit on top of that greenery versus sitting below it. So if you cut your stems down to this little piece, it's going to be below that greenery versus it being on top. Right, literally just swallowed it up whole, y'all. It just was like, hello, thank you, feed me, Seymour. So one of these, this is the shorter one. I'm going to use the shorter one. I also always try and make sure that you can see the head of the flower. I want to make sure you see this part of the flower, not anything else. So I did buy this stem, y'all, and I love pheasant feathers for fall. I think it's just a really pretty element for fall designs. Now these are a faux pheasant feather, so I don't have to worry about having to curl them like real pheasant feathers, but I have used real ones before, and the way you can get that curl is you just run your scissors along the bone of the feather and it'll curl it up. Really, really pretty. Sit right there on that bow. That's where I'm going to glue that one, right in the bow. I do like these faux ones, the faux pheasant feathers, because you can curl them up a little bit better. So I can curl that up. Just like that. Look how cool that looks, y'all. Just curling that up. Like I said, these ones are faux pheasant feathers. They're not the real thing, so I can manipulate them how I need them to go. Underneath that greenery, just extending that out just a little bit. I want to push that up just a little bit more. And then all I have left is 4 pieces of that affordable greenery, and we're going to come in and just kind of sporadically, randomly place some of those pieces. I am going to be pretty intentful with one of them though. This is going to go right in the bow. So I love adding some greenery to my bow, whether it's the grasses or the I could have added some coleus, but I feel like on all of my designs, if I add just a little bit of what's in the entire project, then it's gonna be okay. Then I'm gonna be able to make sure that it's blends right in. It doesn't just stick out like a sore thumb. Okay. Dylan says it's looking good. I thank you for all the tips. The floral one of cutting the nub has help my flowers are no longer hiding or rather stuffed in the arrangement. Right, so even when you're doing an arrangement, you want to make sure that your flower isn't, unless it needs to be cut down really, really short, then you don't have to worry. You shouldn't have to cut it down where you only have an inch to work with, y'all. That's the most important part, is that you want to make sure that you have enough to work with. So I'm going to just curl those up just a little bit more. And I'm going to just stand it up. Not stand it up, but pick it up and kind of look at it. And yeah, there's a grassy stem right here. It was not doing what I needed it to do. In that coleus. This one was an oval grapevine. This one is an oval grapevine. It was a little bit more, it wasn't as tight woven as on one side as it is on the other, so I'll show you guys that right now. If you saw at the beginning, you saw that one side was really nice and tightly woven versus this side. You see how airy, like you can see a lot of my hand through this, so this is nice and airy, but this one's a little bit more tight. So I always try to make sure that my stems are going into the I'm just gonna say it because I'm making sure that my stems are going into the girthier side of the grapevine. So this one was really thin, it had a lot of air through it, and this is the girthier side. Excuse me, y'all. Oh, excuse me. So there is our wreath, y'all. A really pretty, and we didn't use a lot. It might seem like we used a lot of product, but what helped was I had one bush of the coleus, which was really nice and full. I had two bushes of the little wheat and crab apple, so that was 2. 1 bush of affordable greenery, and then 1 paper grass stem, 1 bush of peonies, and then 1 pheasant feathers. Now the pheasant feathers are obviously optional. You don't have to use those if you don't want to, but I think they really, really took this design up to another level. Yeah, y'all. So the other day, I tried to clean my table, and I think I need to just like strip my entire table and really get all the flocking. But then I'm like, I'm gonna use flocked bases for the next 3 months, so the next 2 months. But y'all, look how pretty this wreath came out. I think it came out really, really pretty. I will post a final picture of it on my Facebook page, so y'all make sure and look to see if you can find that picture. But y'all, this is so pretty. I love how this came out, and I love that big burlap bow. I'm just gonna cut that a little bit. I'm seeing it in the camera. I'm cutting that a little bit too. Okay. Really, really pretty, perfect for fall. Now you can go ahead and do something as well if you wanted to. You could add a pumpkin right in there, kind of making it a fall design. Even though this is a fall design, I really think you could probably get away with this for every day. Not even gonna lie, y'all. I would get away with, I would use it for every day. I don't see a problem with it. But you can definitely tie in that little pumpkin. And you know what? I think that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to tie in this little pumpkin. And I want to show you my little trick to my pumpkins. So these velvet pumpkins are relatively inexpensive, y'all. Now, what I do is I get my pumpkin. And I kind of go right back behind it in the bottom. The butt. And I create a little nub. So, I created that little nub, and I'm going to run another zip tie through it. Now, this works really well if you use it with zip ties, because it's going to make it nice and tight, y'all. Okay? So, we've created that. And now, yo, I saw it with the pumpkin. I was like, I really like that with the pumpkin. I think I'm going to add it. And I was like, I'll add it afterwards. But no, y'all, you know what? We're going to add it now. And now I've secured that in. Now I can run some hot glue along the bottom of it. But I'm not just depending on that hot glue to hold that pumpkin in. It's still secured with the zip tie. And do not recommend globbing some hot glue and then going back behind that grapevine. So it looks like it's just sitting in its little patch right there, y'all. And its little pumpkin patch. Is there a particular reason why you cut the ribbon at an angle instead of, I guess, dovetails, swallowtails? Just whatever. Sometimes it depends on whatever I'm in the mood for. I did 3 bows yesterday, and I did like a mix of the just cutting it at the knife edge, which that's what I call. I call that the knife edge, and the dovetail, and I like the look of that. I do like the look of the little the knife edge. Okay. So y'all, really pretty fall design. I think really anybody can do this. I always say that, but I know, and I know some people think like, I can't do it the way you do it. Yes, you can, y'all. Practice makes perfect. I didn't make grapevines like this overnight. I really practiced my craft and perfected it. So, you know, run your own race at your own pace. If you know that you can only do a few stems at a time, then go for it. Or if you want to try something big like this, you can definitely try something big like this. Okay? But we definitely took that 16-inch grapevine. So you see how much it comes off of the grapevine, but it doesn't look abnormal. It's nice and full. It's pretty. It's lush. It's not like everything's just right up against it. No, it's all nice and airy. There's a flow to it. So just keep that in mind as well when you're making your grapevine wreaths or even your deco mesh wreaths. Make sure that there's a flow that you're following. You don't want to go against the grain. You want to go with the grain. Okay, but y'all, that's all I have for y'all this week. Thank y'all for joining me. We will be back next week. I am gone the rest of the week, Thursday, Friday, so I will be back next week, Tuesday and Wednesday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time here on the YouTube channel. Y'all don't forget to like and subscribe, and make sure you set up those notifications to get notifications for when we go live. Sometimes the times change, sometimes it's the same. I'm trying to stick with 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, which has been a really good spot for me. It's right before lunchtime for me, so y'all know right after I get done here, I get to go eat lunch, so I'm always a happy camper. Okay? But y'all, thanks again for watching, and I will see y'all next time. Okay? Bye, y'all.